This video's, I want to say it's not in response to anything. It is, but it isn't. Big name YouTuber here. I just got to looking through some of his old videos. I used to have some respect for the guy, and I guess in some ways I do, but in some other ways I just think that he's become a clickbait artist. I'm not going to name any names because, you know, I don't want to I don't want to call anybody out, but so the handgun caliber debate. You'll notice that this is one of my many websites, but this one's about the 380. And 380, I carry either a 380 Beretta Cheetah or I carry a Beretta 92. Most of the time, the Cheetah is just easier to carry. It's smaller, plenty of rounds. I mean, it's 13 in the mag, one up the pipe, I believe. So you know, I don't. It doesn't bother me. I got over this whole caliber debate, and if you look into some of the information I have on this website in the articles link there, you'll find that the 380, you can kill a wild. The guy, it's point blank range, but hello, self-defense, point blank range. If you're shooting somebody at 50 yards, you're probably going to go to jail for murder. So obviously we're talking point blank range here, you know, within probably 7 feet or less. You're probably not shooting people. They say within 20 feet. That means within 20 feet that most self-defense shooting time. Within 20 feet. Doesn't mean at 20 feet. It means within 20 feet. And so, you know, a lot of times if you look at like George Zimmerman, no matter how you think about it politically, the dude's on top of him when the gun actually is fired. And that is actually within 7 feet seems to be actually more realistic instead of this 20 feet thing. So when you're talking about self-defense, you're just talking about a gun that needs to do the job, you know, at point blank range. We're not talking about sniping people off at, you know, 700 yards here out in Vietnam. That's not what self-defense is about. That would be defending a country, not an individual. On an individual scale level, I just need to be able to protect myself within probably 10 feet or so, you know. And so I'm going to look for a gun, a caliber that is going to do that job. Now, what really kind of is grating on my nerves about this caliber debate? Okay, so I've got a car. I own a Kia Rio. You know what I needed a car for? I needed a car to get me, well, to drive me and the wife to where we need to go. That's what I need the car for. I don't need a Maserati or a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. Not to do what I need to do, right? So to sit here and say, well, the Ferrari's much faster, performs much better, I don't know, has 7 billion horsepower and can do 0 to 60 in 0.7 seconds, and if you launch it into space, it can hit warp factor 7. Yeah, well, that's all great. I just need a fucking car to get me to the fucking store, you know. So comparing gun calibers is pointless when you're talking about. So this particular guy, he's talking about, well, when you compare the 357 to the 380, and that's not the calibers he used, I don't think, but obviously it's no comparison. The 357 has much more power, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, they do. Maserati's got more power than my Kia Rio, but I don't need the Maserati. I need mine to just do the specific job that I'm trying to have it do. I need my car to get me down to the store or to get me to wherever I'm going. And it's been doing that pretty good. And it ain't nowhere near as expensive as a Maserati. Might not be near as pretty, but... So we get into this discussion and we're comparing these guns as if this is actually relevant to anything. It's not. It really isn't, I swear, I promise. If you need a 454 Casull to stop an intruder, or, well, and if you want to use it in your house, by all means, but if you blow your eardrums out, that's on you, as far as the 454 goes. But what I'm saying is that if you feel that you need that much power to stop an intruder, you're either woefully misinformed as to how guns actually probably work, given how many people have died at the hands of 22 and 380, or you're just one of those 45 caliber fanboys that, you know, probably compensating for, you know, small packages elsewhere. And I hate making that comparison because I'm always getting on people about, thinking about my dick, but I don't know what else to say. I mean, I can kind of understand where the comparison comes from at a point. What I don't understand is this obsession with the caliber. It's like me obsessing with the idea that a Ferrari has more horsepower than my 380 or my 9mm. Or I'm sorry, Maserati has more horsepower than my Kia Rio. I'm comparing that to the kinetic energy of the 357 versus the 380. Well, of course, 357 snubby wrist buster is it's going to have more kinetic energy if we're shooting against like some kind of target that's able to measure the foot pounds. Then yeah, it's probably going to register a bit more for the 357. Do I need it? Do I need the difference between a 380 and a 357? Probably not. Probably not. Lots of people have died to 380. Lots of people have been stopped with 380. If you kind of look around the market, you can see that 380 is doing pretty well right now. It's doing so well that I've got an entire website devoted to it. So when I see big name, when I see little hack, hacks like myself, and I hate saying that. I've been around guns for over 40 years. 40. Jesus, I'm old. 45 years now. So when somebody like me, somebody on my level, somebody that doesn't have a college degree starts talking about, oh, well, this gun is more powerful than that gun. Yeah, you can probably just say, this guy's an idiot. But when you get some big name on YouTube who is supposed to be a educated and, I'm going to say somewhat professional, maybe not being paid for it, but you know what I mean. Educated, scholarly, supposedly. When you get one of these guys who people follow, 320 some odd thousand people following and subscribed, and then you get them getting into the gun caliber, the handgun caliber debate, and not actually making a point other than to say that, yeah, the 357 is more powerful than the 30 or 380, which, again, that's not the calibers he chose to use. But when this kind of person would say something like that, I'm just scratching my head thinking, yeah, okay, the Maserati does have more horsepower than my fucking Kia Rio. Yeah, okay. And, scratching my head wondering why in the hell I wasted 10 minutes watching this shit with all the stuttering and trying to pretend that this is relevant. The fact of the matter is, I need my car to do a specific type of job, and it's far more than capable of doing that. That's all I need. It doesn't fucking matter if a Chevy Corvette has got 500 more horsepower or whatever. I'm probably exaggerating. The point is that my car does the job I need it to do, and my gun can do the job I need it to do. These comparisons are total wasted time, effort, energy, gray matter. I need to eat food to consume to formulate thoughts of feeding my brain cells. It's all wasted on this pathetic argument. The bad thing was I couldn't even sit through his whole video because it was literally I'm just rolling my eyes through most of it. Like, yeah, okay, I get it. 357 more powerful than 380 or whatever. 38. The 357 more powerful than 9mm. I guess that might have been a comparison in there, which is I get it where kinetic energy is involved, but when you're talking about the ability to stop somebody, 357, I'm not going to say has much of an advantage. I carried one. Yeah, they bust your wrist out of a 2-inch barrel, out of a small concealable handgun, revolver, snubby SP-101 like I was carrying. I don't think the 357 is doing much better than the 4-inch barrel on my Beretta 92. yeah, the bullet's a little heavier, yada, 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 but what are you trying to do? Penetrate body armor here? Because I'm not. You know, if you look around, there's a video, right? I've got links somewhere on this site here, where the gentleman, really nice guy, seems to be, shows that 9mm just penetrates this frying pan pretty easily, where the 45 didn't do it. And so you see that the 9mm is pretty damn effective at just pounding through stuff. It's why I won't use a 9mm inside my house, because I would prefer not accidentally hitting a neighbor. I'm using my 380 where it's far less likely to overpenetrate, because the bullet is lighter. It's not as likely to hit a bystander as 9mm or 357. This whole gun caliber debate should just be set out to pasture. The thing about the guy making that video is I don't actually think that any time in there that I actually saw that he was actually making any relevant point. He's just saying, yeah, the 357, it's got better. What are we talking about here? Of course the 357 is better than the 38 or the 357, or I'm sorry, the 380 or a 22 or whatever. Whatever. Well, yeah, it's more powerful. I get it. And of course there's a minimum caliber. You need so much energy. Okay, so if I go out there and get into my car and the transmission's not working, my car is not going to go anywhere. If I go out there and I'm out of gas, it's not going to go anywhere. I need a minimum to get my car and go somewhere. Right. So there is a minimum. There's minimum requirements. I got to have a battery in there and a starter and a motor. But once I've got that, then it can do what I need it to do. So there is a minimum caliber that you should be carrying. I don't think a 25, other than like literally pressed up against the target, would be all that useful. That's just me. Maybe it is. So my minimum is 380 for the most part, but I will carry a 22 Magnum if I am in the mood to. Now that's not something that you would. That's a pocket gun. That's going to be the get off me gun. That's where you're going to use that. But when I'm carrying a 380, I'm not worried about, oh God, do I have enough power? Do I have enough power? No, it's fine. Because again, 7 feet. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not going to be using my gun defensively outside of that, most likely, and I'm certainly not going to be using it long range. I kind of like the idea of not going to jail for murder. I like the idea that I'm a law-abiding citizen and that I would only use my gun for self-defense if I was absolutely forced to, had no choice. That's what I've been thinking. And so in that, the 380 is every bit as good as a 357. It's every bit as good as a 45 or a 44 or whatever. It's going to do the job, is my point. Yeah, are those calibers a bit more destructive? Well, yeah, that's probably the case. But I'm not trying to blow my target apart here. I'm just trying to stop it. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get my target stopped. I'm trying to get my target to leave me alone, to stop assaulting me, to stop trying to assault my wife or my grandkids or whatever. That's all I'm trying to do. Just getting in my car to go to the store. I'm not trying to impress anyone. I'm not trying to blow the wheels off. I'm just trying to get to the store. I don't need the Lamborghini. I don't need the Ferrari. I just need what I need to get the job done. That's really the end of this gun caliber debate, handgun caliber debate, and I don't know why we keep harping on it. I don't know why we can't just leave it alone. All it does is cause more conflict within the gun community, more needless conflict. Y'all have a great day.